Hey everybody, it's Steph Mischuk with KillerSites.com. In this video blog, I'm going to talk about what I think are the web design trends and the web programming trends for 2013. A lot of my ideas are based on what I see, but also based on what I've seen in the past, in that there are patterns, if you will, in the nerd business cycles. So, I've been doing this since the early 90s, so I've seen this roll around a few times. So what's the number one trend for 2013? The number one technology you probably want to learn if you're getting into the web space, and that's HTML5 and CSS3. This is the big one. This is going to go on for the foreseeable future because all the major players, Google, Apple, Microsoft, etc., they all support HTML5 and CSS3 wholeheartedly. This technology works on all the major browsers. It works on Android, iOS. It even works natively on Windows. So you can actually write Windows 8. You can actually write HTML5 and CSS3 apps that you can install right on Windows 8. I haven't done that yet because I don't have Windows 8, but the point is it shows that the industry is behind these technologies, so it's the future. The great thing about learning HTML5 and CSS3 is that you'll be able to write apps for Android, iOS, and for your traditional web apps for laptops and desktops and so on. So it's you're killing three birds with one stone, whereas if you decide to get into iOS programming, you're basically trapped inside of the Apple environment, which right now is good, but who knows what will happen in a year or two from now. These things can switch really quick. I know some of you may be going, "No, Apple's going to be king forever." But look at RIM, BlackBerry, Research in Motion. They were dominant for a few years, several years, and now they're like gone. So if you want to be forward compatible, you want to learn a skill set that you can use all over the place. HTML5 and CSS3 is the way to go. So with HTML5 and CSS3, you have to learn JavaScript. JavaScript is the scripting language that glues it all together. Allows you to do all those crazy things with all the dynamic stuff and the programmatic stuff, if you will, with HTML5. So you need to learn JavaScript. It's important. The great thing about JavaScript, again, it's going to be, I would imagine it's going to be probably the most important programming language over the next few years because, again, it's cross-platform. It's used on all the web browsers and all devices. It's used even now on the server with Node.js. So JavaScript is something worthwhile learning, that is for sure. And apparently now there's a shortage of JavaScript programmers. I don't know for sure, but this is what I'm hearing from people who are in that arena right now. So it's something to look into. And JavaScript is one of the key languages in web design, web programming, period. The next one, next trend for 2013, Adobe Flash is going to continue to get trounced, basically because of two things, because of HTML5, CSS3 becoming ubiquitous, and because iOS will continue to not support Flash, so that's a big nail in that coffin. And besides that, Android, Flash Player for Android is no longer being supported by Adobe, the makers of Flash. That's pretty much kills Flash. And it's actually dying even quicker than I thought it would be. So don't be offended if you're a Flash programmer. I'm not attacking Flash. I was one of the first users of Flash when it first came out, I guess 1999 or something. It was called Future Splash at the time. So I'm a bit of a supporter, but you got to be language and technology agnostic in this game. Who cares? Today it's Flash, tomorrow will be HTML5. Don't get married to a technology. I've spoken about this in the past. Move on. Your programming skills that you got programming in ActionScript, which is Flash's programming language, you can transfer that over to JavaScript pretty easily. So I wouldn't be too worried. It's not like it's not like you're throwing away all your skills there. But again, I wouldn't be investing in Flash now because that is pretty much going the way of many other dead languages that we don't hear about anymore, like Lingo, like Perl, like Pascal, like Delphi. If you haven't heard of these languages, well, at one point or another, these were big. Like classic ASP, that was huge. Who does that anymore? So, all right, let's finish off. Again, WordPress will continue to dominate, will be the most popular CMS/blogging engine. And as I talked about years ago, you get this class of web designers. They're called the WordPress. I call them the WordPress web designers. And they do very well out there as freelancers and so on because so many websites use WordPress now as the foundation to their site. So you should learn WordPress. And finally, of course, I'm a big advocate of that language that certain nerds hate, and that's PHP. PHP is I call it the duct tape programming language, server-side programming language, because it's so flexible. It can be messy, but it's very flexible, very powerful. You got all kinds of options, all kinds of choices. It's a great language to learn. If you learn PHP, you will increase your earning potential tremendously. You increase the number of jobs you're going to find. It's just one of these cash cow languages. PHP, more than even, I would say, HTML5 and CSS3 at this point. If you want to make money, freelance or whatnot, learn PHP. Especially if you're going to be working with WordPress or you want to work with forums and so on. These type of, so many tools are built with WordPress. When I'm talking about tools, I'm talking about web software that you can install. It's just crazy not to learn that language. You can only benefit from it. That's it for now. That was my predictions about the web trends for 2013.